everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup could be a tragic.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Houston Texans. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
I guess we have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he'd probably just tell him, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out.
Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll set up a throw. Bell sheds him off. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A good comeback there after the penalty, 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Opening drive fumble, and the 4 miscues that they had last week. 4 turnovers, Charles. So this is a bad trend.
And, Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it, tried to get better. And when it happens here again in this game, the head coach is going to see that as direct reflection on his message to the team, and it's not sinking in.
Over the middle, complete. It's Townsend. And he gets it down to the 32. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. It's that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll set up to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. They'll drop the throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. Powering his way forward. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Back to throw here. He's got it. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these, I don't have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
Let's go. 1-9. Flex round. Flex round.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Back to throw. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. He'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. Bell sheds him off. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there.
Let's go.
Looking to throw. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by the defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Come on, let's go.
Out of the gun now on third down. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off at the 45. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. They'll come up now with a clock showing 3 seconds to go here in the first.
Here we go. Brand 38.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
Let's go. 1, 9,
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going underneath for Lewis. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a gain of 6, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go. Ohio.
They're going to look to throw. And Olsen over the middle. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Of course, he was solid last week. AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. 2 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, he's playing at a level right now where he's just breaking down defenses. Makes me remember when I was playing and my defensive back coach told me, listen, if you give up a touchdown pass, that's on me. I didn't coach you well enough. If you give up a second one, that's on you. And if there's a third one, I'm getting someone else in the game.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's go. 1, 9.
Now back to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off here the 34. And they have... possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession.
Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now he'll throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Out left to Shaheen. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's complete to Meredith. Touchdown, Chicago! Cameron Meredith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears add on. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. A screen to Bell. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
They go play action here on 1st down. Man open left side is Brown. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's complete to Brown, right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this 1st half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now Bell. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are in for 6.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get 1, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan. And you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help with pass protection. So you have to have a counter to that because you know they're probably going to bring pressure when they see an empty backfield. So you get rid of the ball quickly. Quick drop, falls out of the quarterback's hands, keeps it from getting hit, and they get a completion.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the 2nd half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They'll run it now out of the gun. How about another? And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. 3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. his running back. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, or former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again.
Let's go. Green.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brown. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw here. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written him off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
And it's up and good. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Touchdown, Chicago! Brandon Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And that drive happened quickly, which is great because they scored the points, but then their defense has to come right back out on the field.
It is exciting, isn't it, for the offense to do that? The defense is saying, okay, that's cool, but let's not make it a habit. We need to get some rest sometime.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. They're on to the second half now down in Miami. The Broncos are continuing to pour it on. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here comes the Bears defense now back onto the field. Throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 35. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talked about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory. Right back out there doing the things that he does best and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah.
Let's go!
They'll go again with Bell. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, and defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop him, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it. But he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to have a third down. He'll drop to throw. And now here is another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Reset, 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's second down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on second. They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, the tight end Shaheen with it. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
So completion on second down, that brings up third. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so, because you've tried to run the ball, and really it doesn't matter who got the ball in the play because there was no space to go. So then I think you step back, throw the ball to try and pick up the first down.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Forced out to his left. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here we go.
Again, it's Bell. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. The Texans on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. 5th catch of the game for him there. Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, it's Bell. Powers through and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
A give to Bell. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. The quick slant caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Did your high school have that saying, push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter if we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed them back at the last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
He'll look to throw, and this is caught. Well, they get 1 back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
Well, I do have 1 word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetic. minutes.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. The pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And on the ground they go with the running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They're going to look to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Around the NFL fourth quarter right now in Atlanta. And really pouring it on now are the Falcons. Devontae Freeman, he's up to 115 yards on the ground. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flushed out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And Olsen over the middle. And they're going to get this one all the way up to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Flush to his right. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Looking to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Akeem Hicks. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Eddie Goldman in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 27. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they do.